So the average person, whenever they're interacting with someone, they're typically thinking 4 things. The first is, say we're talking, how does this relate to me? If you say something that just doesn't relate to me, and I'm your average Joe, I'm just gonna block it off. It's just like, oh, these chips here in this little vegan restaurant, if I'm not here and you're calling me, I'm just like, when is he gonna switch to something else that refers to me? When do we talk about me? My favorite topic. Okay, so how does this relate to me? Number 2, they're thinking, do I get it? So if you're explaining something, as soon as it clicks, oh, I got it, I'll just cut off the rest. You just don't listen to the rest. Number 3, when is it my turn to speak? What about me? What about me? When do I talk? Okay, is she done? Is he done? Done. Okay, and number 4, am I being tested? Did I pass the test? These are the 4 things that your average Joe is thinking about whenever interacting with someone, thinking that it'll help that person, maybe be higher value or pass the test, when in reality, it just lowers your value. And people sense it immediately. If you're actually there present, like if we're talking, you'll sense immediately if I'm like listening to you or if I'm drifting off like, oh, I got it. Oh, is he talking about, oh, me? You're just not there. You're just interacting with someone through these filters and it just kills your value. It turns you into this very unlikable person. Just this little pest.
What you want to try is an experiment for 1 week, and this experiment is going to make you want to like blow your brains out when you see it, where watch different conversations that people are having, and what you're going to see is that whenever you watch 2 people talking, you'd think that the 2 people are interacting, kind of having fun, and sometimes they are for sure. It definitely happens. Sometimes alcohol is involved. It helps them to do that. But one person's talking to the other person, and you can see that little hamster in the person's brain, and they're continually going, what does this have to do with me? So, if you're talking about some kind of like we're in LA right now, and there's some kind of issue going on in LA, the person, rather than just talking about the issue itself that's happening in LA, they're gonna keep bringing it back to themselves. So we had a big rainfall a few months ago. So say you're like, yo, the rain's getting crazy. I'm like, well, up in my place doesn't matter. Rather than just talking about the topic itself. Or say you're saying, oh, the rainfall thing, I'm just waiting for you to finish talking so I can give my opinion on the rainfall. Like, well, you know what? Here's my opinion, because I don't actually want to listen or let the other person talk. Or maybe I feel like I'm being like it's some kind of test, like a self-qualifying thing, like I've got that under control. Or
you try to top it with a story. Like you hear a story like, hey, I bought this new thing. And I'm like, how do I pass the test? You know what I bought? Or, oh, I get that you experienced LA, the rainfall, but up in Seattle or in Switzerland, you wouldn't imagine the rain. My rain beats your rain. No big deal.
Yeah. And the funny thing with that one is like, so say 2 people are talking, right? The general purpose of conversation socially is to elevate mood. So people who are not cool, they think the purpose of conversation is as a test or as self-qualification.
To win. Yeah.
To win. So people that are cool, they view it like it's to increase the emotion. So if you're like, yo, the rain here is crazy, and then I said, dude, you haven't even seen rain, man, okay? Like, it's in Switzerland, it's super crazy. This is nothing. And then you're like, and it sucks the energy out of the conversation because you're like, wah, wah, wah. Like, okay, well then, good for you. You saw more rain than me. Great. And then the vibe's not going up. So what you have to understand is that this comes back to coping versus thriving. And so somebody who's in a coping mode, they tend to feel more like, what does this have to do with me? What's the test here? When can I talk?
Just very defensive, yeah.
Versus when you have somebody in thriving, the underlying, and here's the key, the underlying assumption is, I'm fine either way. I don't even need to have this conversation because I have what I need in life. So I'm having this conversation to amuse myself. There's nothing I need to get out of this or to pull out of it. Everything's chill. I'm good. But rather, how could I increase the vibe? And so the example that I've taught it before, you'll hear me say this in videos probably till the day I'm dead, is with coping versus thriving. Whenever I say I'm rushing to the airport and I get into an Uber or a taxi, the Uber might say, how are you doing? And I'm always like, good. Right? Like it's about me. It's just like, good. Like I'm too forward. Say you just had a breakup or something really messed up just happened and they're like, how are you doing? You're kind of like, good. Because there's too many different mental faculties being absorbed to be able to absorb it. Like if you take that guy who just put the plate down right in front of the camera there. This guy's running around here frantically. He's in coping right now. He's like, I got to get the Brussels sprouts here. I got to get to this. He's probably not too thrilled to be doing this kind of work. Maybe, maybe not. But in addition to that, the last thing he's thinking of is like, am I disrupting anything when I slam down the Brussels sprouts, even when we're recording here? It's not even like dissing the dude. It's just like, he's busy. And so that's a great example just to happen right then and there, right? Whereas, if everything in your life's going awesome, you're not in some major rush. Maybe you actually are like, well, this thing that they're staring at right now, maybe I shouldn't just slam a Brussels sprout in front of it. So,
or people who cut in front of the shots. Like if you shoot in a busy street, like say New York, and you see people rushing to work, right in front of the camera, shameless. And then you'll see someone like maybe on their vacation, touristy, just taking their time, and they'll see the shot and be like, oh, let me walk around, versus, usually I'd walk around, I'm rushing,
Yeah, something we see all the time.
Yeah.
So that being the case, when you're in thriving, you don't say that I'm in a good mood and the Uber says, how are you doing? I say, oh, no, great, man. How are you doing? Because I'm good, so now I'm going to be more focused on him. If you're watching this in a mode right now where you're not feeling super great, the last thing that you want to hear is me or Julien be like, yeah, care more about other people. You're like, dude, I'm in coping. Like, last thing the waiter wants to hear is like, every time you put a plate down, look at where you're putting. He doesn't give a, he just wants to finish his job. But what I'd say to you to bait you in a little bit is that if you get this down, your social status will actually increase, and you won't have to worry about when's my turn to talk, or is this a test, or how does this affect me, or those things, because you'll just be so good in life that none of this stuff will even matter to you anymore. But weirdly, by having it matter, you're kind of like in this weird spiral. It's like a self-fulfilling prophecy, like this weird loop that's self-reinforcing, where your social status is lower, versus when you can break out of this, your social status will actually go up.